It's continually getting worse, but I'm not ready to give up and quit.
This father and son duo's annual trip to Idaho is about much more than a vacation. Plus, a local woman is looking to recall Bannock County's commissioners. It is 6 o'clock and 57 degrees, and this is KPVI News Today for Tuesday, July 30th, 2019.
KPVI News Today. News that works for you.
Good morning, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Rachel Cox-Herzen.
And good morning, I'm Michael Ottavino.
So, Michael, how's it looking outside today?
Outside to start off the morning, a much brighter start than what we saw yesterday. We saw those showers passing through our area.
Right.
For this morning, not seeing any moisture across the Snake River Plain, and that'll be the trend for today. We'll have a lot of sunshine in the sky, with temperatures warming up into the 90s for this afternoon. Idaho Falls right now, 54 degrees, mostly clear to start off the morning, and we'll stay mainly sunny by about 9 o'clock, and then we'll have a lot of sunshine in the sky for today, with temperatures right around the upper 70s for lunchtime, and even across Pocatello, mostly clear right now, temperatures warming into those 80s around lunchtime. So overall for today, a great day to maybe have lunch outside, and we'll have more warm temperatures on the way for this afternoon. A few areas could see some showers, though. I'll tell you where coming up later in my full forecast.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Michael. 7 people, including 5 children, were sent to the hospital after a pileup in Ashton last night. Idaho State Police say the crash happened at around 8 p.m. at the intersection of US 20 and State Highway 47. Police say 43-year-old Darren Jordan of Idaho Falls ran a stop sign, hitting a boat pulled by 46-year-old Lane Pilatus of Blackfoot. The boat dislodged and landed on the car of 58-year-old Jack Hendren of Rexburg. Pilatus's car rolled. An ambulance took Pilatus to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center in Idaho Falls. A helicopter took 2 kids in Pilatus's car to Ermac. An ambulance took the 3 other children to Madison Memorial Hospital in Rexburg. An ambulance took Jordan to Madison Memorial. Both lanes on US 20 were blocked for around 3 hours. A man was arrested Saturday after police say he attacked someone with a lighter torch. 55-year-old John Whalen of Idaho Falls was arrested for aggravated battery and burglary. Idaho Falls police say police found a man covered in blood in a home at 2200 North Yellowstone Highway. The victim said he was sleeping in his home when Whalen began hitting him with an object he described as a torch or lighter. After hitting him repeatedly, Whalen reportedly ran. Police found Whalen in the 1700 block of Grandview Drive with blood on his clothes and hands and a torch lighter covered in blood in his possession. Officers took Whalen to the Bonneville County Jail. The Idaho Department of Transportation has announced some new projects. Tomorrow, ITD will lay out around 2 miles of asphalt pavement on Idaho Highway 33 between Teton and Newdale. Crews will detour traffic between 3rd Street and 8000 West. And Thursday, the Pocatello community is invited to review plans for a new roundabout at the intersection of Pocatello Avenue and State Highway 39. This ITD video shows a roundabout in Nampa that is similar to the planned Pocatello project. The open house will be from 4 to 7 p.m. at the American Falls District Library on 308 Roosevelt Street. Construction is expected to begin in 2022. The woman leading a charge to recall Bannock County Assessor Sherry Davies has now added 3 more names to her list. Wearing a new Recall Them All button, Claudia Ortega of Pocatello tells KPVI she is now circulating a petition to recall Bannock County's commissioners, Steve Brown, Terrell Tovey, and Ernie Moser. According to Ortega, she's already gotten hundreds of signatures. This all stems from a dramatic raise in property assessments in Bannock County, assessments going out late, and a perceived lack of communication from the county. Ortega says she feels the commissioners haven't taken enough responsibility for what's happened.
They, along with the assessor, knew back in January that they were going to be doing these evaluations. They could have had press conferences. They could have let people know this was coming down the pike, and let people know what their plan was.
This comes as the Bannock County Board of Equalization, which is made up of the commissioners, resolved over 2,000 unheard appeals by blanket reducing the assessments by 10%. Ortega feels this was a violation of due process. Like the petition to recall Davies, Ortega needs to get 9,100 signatures on each by September 16th to make it on the November ballot. Idaho State University announced its new softball coach Sunday. Crystal Brown spent the last 8 seasons as the head coach at Whitworth University in Washington, where she had 7 consecutive winning seasons with a 221 and 124 record. She also managed to help 30 players receive all conference honors and lead the Pirates to 3 consecutive regular season conference championships. Brown is the 8th head coach in program history and is ready to make her mark and prove she belongs at the Division I level.
Being a good coach is not about at what level you do it. It's about whether or not you're doing it right. And so I just feel honored that that was seen in me, despite not having that Division I experience. That being said, I am so confident that I can do a great job here with the support of the people who are already here.
In addition to the many conference achievements at Whitworth, Brown also led the school to its first victories in the NCAA tournament. Okay, Michael, what are those temperatures looking like right now?
Rachel, overall across the Snake River Plain, we are off to a pretty comfortable start to the morning. Temperatures for many locations are currently in those 50s. Right now across Idaho Falls, good morning, 54 degrees in your area. It's 55 right now in Rigby, 52 up in Ashton, 52 degrees also in Swan Valley. Across Pocatello, we're at 57 degrees and it's currently 60 in American Falls. Panning out to the Central Mountains for the most part, many locations this morning are seeing temperatures in those 50s. Rachel, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. A former Idaho Republican Party chairman is in jail without bail after authorities say he violated a no-contact order. Jonathan Parker remained in the Ada County Jail yesterday following his Sunday arrest. Violating a no-contact order, a misdemeanor, does not allow release on bail. Court records say Parker is also being held on a felony charge of witness intimidation, which carries a $100,000 bail. Parker stepped down as Idaho GOP chairman in February, and his wife filed for divorce in March. Parker in May was charged with first-degree stalking. Parker's attorney said it was a misunderstanding. Idaho Republican U.S. Senator Mike Crapo will be in eastern Idaho next month. Crapo has announced town meetings across the state during the months of August and September. Crapo says, among other things, he will discuss investigations of the personal data of Americans being gathered against their wishes, as well as new privacy and financial concerns driven by the actions of corporations such as Facebook. Crapo will be at the waterfront at Snake River Landing in Idaho Falls at 12:30 on August 8th, and will head to Rigby and Rexburg later that day. To see Crapo's full schedule of events, head to KPVI.com. And 2020 Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden is planning to stop in Boise next Tuesday, but seeing him will cost a minimum of $100. Biden's stop requires people to RSVP and donate at least $100 for a guest-level ticket. People have to purchase a ticket to find out where the event will be. To get a picture taken with the former vice president, people have to pay $1,000 for the champion-level ticket or $2,800 for the sponsor-level ticket. The Idaho Department of Lands is working to contain a tussock moth infestation in central Idaho. The Department of Lands says the outbreak is in the Packer-John State Forest between Banks and Smiths Ferry. In an effort to contain the outbreak and to reduce the likelihood of a forest fire, officials are planning to conduct salvage timber harvests in the hardest hit areas. The state expects to bring in nearly $3 million with the timber sales. That money will be used for reforestation as well as funding for public schools. A father and son duo aren't letting physical disabilities keep them from enjoying the Idaho great outdoors together. Ed Riding is mostly blind, but thanks to his son and a little technology boost, Ed can still kayak with the best of them. Steve Dent has the story.
It's a great spot to be. I started kayaking back in '96.
Ed Riding and his son Aaron make a trip to Idaho every summer to go kayaking together, even though Ed is visually impaired.
It's continually getting worse, but I'm not ready to give up and quit, so I'm still skiing, I'm still riding a bike, and I'm still kayaking, but I have to have help with all of it.
In order to make it down the rapids, Aaron will pick a line and have Ed follow him through.
So how often does the son get to tell Dad what to do? We have a lot of fun at it. And it's a bonding situation that we just would never get any other way.
But new this year, the duo has a pair of waterproof radios that allow the two to communicate in case they get separated in the rapids.
This year has been awesome because he's actually settled in and he's boating more confident now with the radios as opposed to, last year we had a couple scrambles where we were scrambling when we'd get separated.
These paddlers bombed down Staircase, a Class 4 rapid, something they say wouldn't be possible without the radios Ed acquired from the National Ability Center in Park City, Utah.
And because I'm a blind veteran, they have a low vision clinic there that helps veterans get my stuff to stay active in life. And they helped me purchase this item. And it's something that I will now share with my friends that are boarding Team River Runner, who are also visually impaired and blind, so that they can also have the same great experience that this radio has given me.
So father and son will continue to paddle, even though Ed can only clearly see about 5 to 10 yards down the river.
I just can't say enough how much I enjoy this sport and how fun it is and how much it makes me stay young. For a 67-year-old blind man, I'm doing great.
Well, Michael, what should people expect outside today?
Rachel, looking outside across Spencer right now, it's a beautiful start to the morning, and it does look like for the Snake River Plain, that beautiful start will continue throughout the day. We'll have a lot of sunshine, but will it stay around all week? I'll tell you coming up next in my full forecast.
You're watching KPVI News Today with Rachel Cox-Rosen and meteorologist Michael Ottavino. KPVI News Today, news that works for you. And now Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Michael Ottavino.
It's a dry start for most areas this morning, a much better start to the day today than we did see yesterday, mainly picking up maybe some very isolated showers across the Island Park, even across parts of the western half of Wyoming, even the central mountains, maybe very isolated showers pass through. Your area did see some for last night, even into the overnight, but across Idaho Falls, getting a look outside right now, dry and relatively sunny to start off the morning out there. Really nice start to the day, and it does look like that will stick around as we do move throughout the day. Idaho Falls, again, mainly sunny, a temperature maybe a couple degrees above where it should be for this time of year. Currently 54 degrees in your area, and across Pocatello, we are a couple of degrees warmer this morning, coming in at 57 degrees. Looks like we have a nice easterly breeze coming in at 5 miles per hour, and temperatures across the rest of eastern Idaho, for the most part, are in the 50s for this morning. Right now in Rexburg, it's 58 degrees in your area, 56 across Blackfoot, 50 across Driggs, 53 in Island Park, slightly cooler across the higher elevations. It's 45 right now in Afton, 48 degrees currently in Jackson. Giving you a wider view, we still have that area of high pressure to our south, which brought triple-digit heat yesterday to Salt Lake City, and it does look like for Salt Lake City that triple-digit heat will continue for their area for today. But for today, for the most part, it will keep us relatively dry across eastern Idaho, at least for the Snake River Plain and the highlands and western Wyoming. The central mountains could see some moisture creep its way into their area by about this afternoon. And then over the next couple of days, this area of high pressure will start to shift eastward, which will allow for more of a monsoonal flow once again to be pushed into our area as soon as by about Wednesday night. And then it looks like the greater chance of seeing thunderstorms and even some showers return to the Snake River Plain will be by about Thursday. For today, though, fortunately, no triple-digit heat for the Snake River Plain. Temperatures pretty hot out there, though, mainly in those 90s once again. It'll be 91 degrees today across Idaho Falls, 90 for Rexburg, 93 for Blackfoot, 94 degrees across Pocatello. Even for the Upper Snake Highlands, temperatures pretty warm in their areas, mainly in those 80s, and across the central mountains, we'll have high temperatures in the 80s. Now, I did mention some showers and storms possible for the central mountains. Let's time those out. 7 o'clock this morning, again, a relatively beautiful start to the morning, not seeing any clouds or anything for the Snake River Plain. But once I put it in motion by about 2 o'clock this afternoon, notice those showers start to pop up, and they will be very isolated. It looks like the only place across the central mountains really potentially seeing any moisture today will be across the Salmon area. Other areas should remain dry, and then by about tonight, again, a relatively clear evening out there. Maybe we will see some clouds build in for the overnight, and the low temperatures for tonight that you will we'll wake up to for tomorrow will generally be in those 50s, so similar to what we saw last night. Your Southeast Idaho Chevy dealers 7-day forecast leaves us with a mostly cloudy day for tomorrow with a high temperature of 93 degrees, chance of showers and storms on Thursday and Friday. Idaho Falls, mainly sunny for today, mostly cloudy for tomorrow, chance of showers and storms also on Thursday and Friday. As of now, weekend's looking really nice with a good deal of sunshine and temperatures in those lower 90s. For the Teton area, Jackson, Afton, and Drake's, mainly sunny for today, chance of showers and storms Wednesday through Friday, with temperatures generally going to be in the 80s for many days. Across the Central Mountains, Salmon, Charleston, Mackey, chance of showers and storms for today, partly sunny for tomorrow. Rachel, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. A vigil was held yesterday in Northern California for the victims of the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting. 3 people were killed when a gunman opened fire at the Gilroy Garlic Festival in Gilroy, California Sunday. The victims who died in the shooting were 6-year-old Stephen Romero, 13-year-old Kayla Salazar, and 25-year-old Trevor Irby. At least 12 other people were wounded in the incident. The gunman was shot and killed by police within a minute of them receiving reports of an active shooter. Police said the gunman used an AK-47 type assault rifle he purchased legally in Nevada on July 9th. We're talking race and politics this morning. President Trump has a new target on Twitter. And Tracy Potts tells us there's growing pressure for him to visit Baltimore after tweeting what many consider a racist insult.
Mr. President, come on down. The streets are ready for you. The neighborhoods are ready for you. Folks want to talk to you.
Pressure is mounting for President Trump to make the 40-mile trip from the White House to Baltimore, a city he calls a disgusting, rat and rodent-infested mess.
He needs to fix what the problem is instead of downgrading us.
The tweets target Baltimore Congressman Elijah Cummings, whose oversight committee is going after emails and texts from White House staff, including the president's family. President Trump responds Cummings should instead investigate himself and billions of dollars stolen or wasted in his own district. New tweets target MSNBC host Reverend Al Sharpton. The president calls Sharpton a con man who hates whites and cops and a troublemaker.
Yes, I make trouble for bigots. He has a particular venom for blacks and people of color.
The White House brought in inner city pastors denying the president is racist.
I find it hard to believe when you consider the things that have been done for the black community.
As for Baltimore, one of the president's Democratic opponents is already on the ground.
The guy plays lowball. He is trying to divide this country.
Unknown if President Trump will visit anytime soon. Republicans are set to meet in Baltimore in September for their annual conference. The president usually attends. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
President Trump signed the 9/11 Victims Compensation Funding Bill into law yesterday. Appearing in the White House Rose Garden with more than 60 first responders, the president signed the bill, which extends funding for 9/11 victims and their families until the year 2092, essentially making it permanent. President Trump recognized first responders and their families and renewed the nation's vow to never forget the September 11th attacks. He added that the nation has a sacred obligation to care for the responders and their families. The second Democratic presidential debate will take place tonight in Detroit, Michigan. This is video from the first debate that aired right here on NBC. The first night of the second Democratic presidential debate kicks off at the Fox Theater in Detroit tonight. Candidates Marianne Williamson, Tim Ryan, Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Beto O'Rourke, John Hickenlooper, John Delaney, and Steve Bullock will participate. Watch parties will take place around the country, such as at various bars in D.C. and a party hosted by the Black Voters Matter Fund in Detroit. The debate starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. General Motors workers will be available to answer questions today about their plant that is closing in Warren, Michigan this week. The company's transmission plant will close their 2.1 million square foot factory that they've ran since 1958. GM plans to keep its transmission plant in Mexico open instead. The company announced last year that it planned to cut costs by eliminating 14,000 jobs and save $6 billion by 2020. More cases of the measles have been reported. According to the latest data from the CDC, 1,164 cases have been confirmed in 30 states. That is an increase of 16 cases from last week. The majority of cases are in people who have not been vaccinated. While New York continues to be the hardest hit state, the state of emergency that was declared in Rockland County during the height of the outbreak was lifted last week. This is the worst measles outbreak in the country in 27 years. Still to come this morning on KPVI News Today, how many lives does childhood cancer claim a year? Plus, experts say high blood sugar could be related to the likelihood of having a stillbirth. And if you have chest pain, you may want to try acupuncture. That's coming up on KPVI News Today. It is 6:23 and 57 degrees.
KPVI News Today. News that works for you.
It is 6:25 and 57 degrees, and topping our health news this morning, childhood cancer claims more than 11 million years of healthy life each year. That's according to a new report from St. Jude Children's Hospital. Researchers found childhood cancers are now the 6th biggest contributor to the total cancer burden. But there is a huge gap between high and low income countries. Children in the poorest nations face a much higher risk of cancer and are less likely to survive. A new study reveals high blood sugar levels and BMI may increase the risk of stillbirth in moms with diabetes. Researchers looked at data from all births in Scotland between 1998 and 2016. They found a woman's blood glucose level was a key risk factor for stillbirth. 1/3 of stillbirths in women with diabetes occurred close to full term. A new research from China suggests acupuncture could help patients with chest pain. The study included 400 people being treated for angina. People who received acupuncture on certain pressure points had fewer pain episodes than those who got other types of acupuncture or none at all. Plastic surgeons are working overtime in some states, but it's not for the sake of sheer vanity. The CDC finds the number of skin cancer cases is climbing in the U.S., and that means more reconstructive surgery to fix scars left behind after doctors remove the cancer. Ryan Cody reports.
Dr. David Kelly is a busy plastic surgeon.
There's no real kind of downtime. There's no kind of summer vacation, it seems like.
But not from performing your typical cosmetic surgeries.
More people are getting screened for it, and so we're seeing a lot more skin cancer, especially in younger patients as they're coming in. They're getting diagnosed in their 30s and 40s.
The CDC is expecting more than 80,000 new cases of skin cancer in the United States this year, up 50% from just 2 decades ago.
Pretty good increase.
Cancer removal procedures are leaving survivors with very visible holes in places like their nose and lips. And as patients get younger, the need for cosmetic cancer treatment grows.
They're still working, so they're worried about showing up to work in the next day or two. So they're a lot more kind of aware of their appearance as they're going out.
But Dr. Kelly says the social media generation we live in also plays a role.
I've had multiple patients just, talk about how they're always taking selfies, they're always looking at their cameras. These younger patients are looking at themselves in the camera a lot more often.
So turning this into this is becoming a much higher priority than in years past. But it's not all vain. In fact, an increase in patients might be a good sign.
So I think we're screening those patients earlier on, so we're catching the skin cancer earlier.
Dr. Kelly says these numbers will continue to grow and grow as more and more people move to sunny places like Arizona and Nevada, which are 2 of the fastest growing states in the nation. Now let's check back in with meteorologist Michael Ottavino. Michael, what's it looking like outside?
Rachel, let's take a look across McCammon right now along the I-15 webcam. Overall, a really sunny start to the day. Maybe we are seeing some clouds in the distance, but it does look like those clouds will decrease as we do move throughout the day. We are expecting a mainly sunny and also a pretty hot day for most of eastern Idaho. Temperatures returning to those 90s. Rachel, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. Still to come this morning on KPVI News Today, how much is Idaho spending on paid leave? Plus, Idaho farmers are getting some federal government money. That's coming up on KPVI News Today. It is 6:28 and 57 degrees.
I am pretty geeked about this whole thing.
Idaho State University has a new softball coach. Plus, a pileup sends 5 kids to the hospital. It is 6:31 and 57 degrees, and this is KPVI News Today for Tuesday, July 30th, 2019.
KPVI News Today. News that works for you.
Good morning, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Rachel Cox-Rosen.
And good morning, I'm Michael Ottavino.
So, Michael, how's it looking outside today?
Out there to start off this morning, we are seeing a lot of sunshine in the sky, and it does look like, fortunately, that will continue today across the Snake River Plain. It will really be a beautiful day out there with temperatures feeling like the end of July. We'll have temperatures for this afternoon reaching the 90s for many locations. Idaho Falls, 9 o'clock this morning, mainly sunny, maybe a few light clouds, but then the clouds will decrease as we move throughout the day, leaving us with plenty of sunshine in the sky, high temperatures reaching the upper 80s by about 4 o'clock. I think Idaho Falls reaches the lower 90s by about 5 today. Across Pocatello, also expect a lot of sunshine in the sky with temperatures in the 90s later on this afternoon, and most of eastern Idaho should remain dry, but a few locations for the Central Mountains could see a shower this afternoon. I'll talk about that in my full forecast.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. 7 people, including 5 children, were sent to the hospital after a pileup in Ashton last night. Idaho State Police say the crash happened at around 8 p.m. at the intersection of US 20 and State Highway 47. Police say 43-year-old Darren Jordan of Idaho Falls ran a stop sign, hitting a boat pulled by 46-year-old Lane Pilatus of Blackfoot. The boat dislodged and landed on the car of 58-year-old Jack Hendren of Rexburg. Pilatus's car rolled. An ambulance took Pilatus to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center in Idaho Falls. A helicopter took 2 kids in Pilatus's car to Ermac. An ambulance took the other 3 children to Madison Memorial Hospital in Rexburg. An ambulance took Jordan to Madison Memorial as well. Both lanes on US 20 were blocked for around 3 hours. A man was arrested Saturday after police say he attacked someone with a lighter torch. 55-year-old John Wallen of Idaho Falls was arrested for aggravated battery and burglary. Idaho Falls police say police found a man covered in blood in a home at 2200 North Yellowstone Highway. The victim said he was sleeping when Wallen began hitting him with an object he described as a torch or lighter. After hitting him repeatedly, Wallen reportedly ran. Police found Wallen in the 1700 block of Grandview Drive with blood on his clothes and hands and a torch lighter covered in blood in his possession. Officers took Wallen to the Bonneville County Jail. An Idaho Falls man has been arrested for driving under the influence while a child was in the car. On Saturday, just before midnight, several people reported a possible drunk driver on East Iona Road, running stop signs and driving off the road. Bonneville County deputies say at one point the suspect pulled into a driveway and began urinating until he noticed people were watching. When deputies pulled over 36-year-old Richard Gibson, they discovered his 9-year-old passenger. A breath test revealed Gibson was almost 3 times the legal limit. He's charged with misdemeanor excessive driving under the influence and injury to child. 11 months of paid leave among Idaho employees cost the state about $2 million. Nearly 3,000 state employees were on paid administrative leave at some point between July 1st last year and May 31st of this year. And 90 of those had more than 4 weeks of paid leave. Experts say the most common reason was allegations against an employee that required an investigation. The state has about 25,000 employees. And the federal government has paid $24 million to Idaho farms and dairies to soften financial losses caused by President Trump's trade wars. But according to farmers, the payments, ranging from just $2 to nearly $400,000, don't cover what they lost. Gordon Gallup, a wheat farmer in Ryrie, says the $4,000 check he received in October doesn't make a dent in his $2 million operation. Tariffs on milk, wheat, and cherries hit Idaho particularly hard, with some farmers losing thousands of dollars a day. Officials say 15 Idaho dairies closed in 2018, and another 20 have closed this year. Idaho Republican U.S. Senator Mike Crapo will be in eastern Idaho next month. Crapo has announced town meetings across the state during the months of August and September. Crapo says, among other things, he will discuss investigations of the personal data of Americans being gathered against their wishes, as well as new privacy and financial concerns driven by the actions of corporations such as Facebook. Crapo will be at the waterfront at Snake River Landing in Idaho Falls at 12:30 on August 8th, and will head to Rigby and Rexburg later that day. To see Crapo's full schedule of events, head to kpvi.com. Okay, Michael, what are those temperatures looking like right now?
Rachel, for the most part, temperatures pretty pleasant to start off the morning across the region, mainly in those 50s for the Snake River Plain. The higher elevations slightly cooler. Right now in Jackson, good morning, 46 degrees in your area. It's 50 degrees right now in Thane for the Snake River Plain, 53 currently in Ashton, 56 right now in Rigby, 55 across Fort Hall, and it is currently 54 degrees right now in McCammon. Rachel, back to you.
All righty, thank you so much, Michael. The Idaho Department of Transportation has announced some new projects. Tomorrow, ITD will lay out around 2 miles of asphalt pavement on Idaho Highway 33 between Teton and Newdale. Crews will detour traffic between 3rd Street and 8000 West. Thursday, the Pocatello community is invited to review plans for a new roundabout at the intersection of Pocatello Avenue and State Highway 39. This ITT video shows a roundabout in Nampa that is similar to the planned Pocatello project. The open house will be from 4 to 7 p.m. at the American Falls District Library on 308 Roosevelt Street. Construction is expected to begin in 2022. Idaho State University introduced its new softball coach yesterday afternoon. KPVI News that works for you journalist Zane Hopen tells us what fans can expect.
The Idaho State Athletic Department has felt a wave of changes in the last year. Starting at the top with new athletic director Pauline Theros, there were also head coaching openings for men's basketball, volleyball, women's soccer, and softball. And today, the last of those was filled.
I am pretty geeked about this whole thing. I am so proud. And I want you to join me in welcoming Coach Crystal Brown.
Crystal Brown comes to Pocatello as the 8th head coach in the softball program's history. She spent the last 8 seasons at Whitworth University in Spokane, Washington, where she picked up 3 regular season conference titles en route to a 221 and 124 record. Although this is her first job at the Division I level, she says experience doesn't always reflect ability.
Being a good coach is not about at what level you do it. It's about whether or not you're doing it right. And so I just feel honored that that was seen in me, despite not having that Division I experience. That being said, I am so confident that I can do a great job here with the support of the people who are already here.
On top of team success, she helped 30 players land onto all conference teams and at one point coached the #1 high school team in the nation. But even off the diamond, Brown is ready to be a part of the big shift in energy at ISU.
Every single individual that I talked to just raved about the renewed energy on campus, the excitement that is in the air, both coming out of the president's office at the top, and then obviously impacting me directly, specifically within the athletic department.
In addition to the many conference achievements at Whitworth, Brown also led the school to its first victories in the NCAA tournament. And now here's a look at what's coming up on the Today Show later.
Good morning. Coming up on Today, dramatic stories of survival from that mass shooting at a food festival in California as the victims are honored at an emotional vigil overnight. Also ahead, exclusive and troubling findings from a new investigation on the sex abuse scandal that has rocked USA Gymnastics. This morning, who is being blamed for failing to protect athletes? Then the 16-year-old who just became a multi-millionaire by playing Fortnite. We're going to talk with the kid they call Booga when he joins us on a Tuesday morning right here on Today.
Today, this country celebrates a sweet treat that's super cheesy. July 30th is National Cheesecake Day. This simple dessert has several variations, including the New York style, the Philadelphia style, even a Chicago style. But none of those were the first. Apparently, it was the Greek style that started it all. According to the National Day calendar, an ancient Greek physician wrote a book on the art of making cheesecakes thousands of years ago.
Wow. No matter which flavor, American style, Oreo style, it's all good, you know?
Look at that chocolate one,
Yes,
Michael.
that looks really good.
Ooh, did you eat a lot of New York cheesecake when you were in New York?
Not last time, but
Yeah.
usually my mom will make one. She'll make a cheesecake or she'll make a coconut cake. Either of them are Absolutely amazing. Phenomenal.
So what are the components of a New York cheesecake? What makes it New York?
You know, I have no clue. I don't know.
Really good, right? It makes it really good.
We'll have to look it up for sure.
Yeah, just find out some more facts today. So to come this morning, Taco Bell plans to make changes to its meat.
But first, at 6:41, let's take another look at those temperatures. For the Snake River Plain, we are in the 50s. Other areas also in the 50s. Will we stay that way throughout most of the morning? But temperatures for this afternoon will be very hot out there. I'll tell you more about that coming up next.
You're watching KPVI News Today with Rachel Cox Rosen and meteorologist Michael Ottavino. KPVI News Today, news that works for you. And now Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Michael Ottavino.
It's a relatively dry morning across eastern Idaho. Maybe a few isolated showers popping up across the upper Snake Highlands into also the western half of Wyoming. Also some moisture passing through parts of the central mountains. Looks like a lightning strike just northwest currently across Stanley. And the central mountains could see some more showers and storms later on this afternoon, but other areas should remain dry. It's a very nice start to the day across Idaho Falls right now. Look at that, mainly sunny, a really nice start, and that's what we'll be seeing as we move throughout the day. Plenty of sunshine in the sky and warm temperatures on the way for this afternoon. Right now in Idaho Falls, not too warm, a pretty comfortable start, 54 degrees right now in their area. Across Pocatello, we're just a couple of degrees warmer at 57 degrees. A nice easterly breeze at 5 miles per hour to start off the day. And for the rest of eastern Idaho, even into western Wyoming, for the most part, temperatures are pretty pleasant. It's 58 degrees right now in Rexburg, 53 across Island Park, 55 right now in Blackfoot, 60 across American Falls. The higher elevations are slightly cooler. It's 43 degrees currently in Afton, 46 in Jackson. Area of high pressure to our south will keep us very warm to even hot for today. Temperatures returning to those 90s across many areas for eastern Idaho. Salt Lake City yesterday saw that triple-digit heat for their area. It continues for today as well. And again, it will keep us relatively dry. We'll be under a southwesterly flow. But over the next couple of days, this big area of high pressure will start to shift eastward, which will allow for more of that monsoonal moisture to make its way into our area as soon as by about the Wednesday night time frame. Looks like the greater chance of seeing showers and storms return to the Snake River Plain will be by about Thursday. For today, for the Snake River Plain, no triple-digit heat, nor will be seeing any showers and storms. Temperatures, for the most part, pretty hot out there, mainly in the 90s with plenty of sunshine in the sky for this afternoon. It'll be 91 today across Idaho Falls, 93 in Blackfoot, 90 today across Rexburg, 94 for Pocatello. Even for the higher elevations, temperatures on the warmer side for this time of year, mainly in those 80s. And for the central mountains, also expect temperatures to be in the 80s for many locations, but your area could see some showers and storms build in by about the early half of the afternoon. Let's time those out. 7 o'clock this morning again, seeing some clouds out there, isolated shower across Ledor. But when I put it in motion, notice by about 2 o'clock this afternoon across Salmon and Ledor, your area could see some showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder later on early this evening by about 5 o'clock. But then for the later half of the evening into the first half of the overnight, conditions clear out and we'll see maybe a few clouds pass through. And then for tonight, those low temperatures will be very similar to what they were last night, mainly in those 50s. So overall, again, another comfortable evening is on the way for our area. Your Southeast Idaho Chevy dealer's 7-day forecast leaves us mainly sunny for today, mostly cloudy for tomorrow. Clouds will start to build in for tomorrow afternoon with a high temperature of 93 degrees. Temperatures cool off slightly for Thursday and Friday, only in those upper 80s, but we do have the threat for some showers and storms. Across Idaho Falls, your 7-day forecast, mainly sunny for today, mostly cloudy for tomorrow. Temperatures in the 80s for Thursday and Friday, 90s on the way for the weekend. For the Teton area, Jackson, Afton, and Driggs, mainly sunny for today. Chance of showers and storms Wednesday through Friday, and then more sunshine on the way for Saturday. Across the Central Mountains, Salmon, Challis, and Mackay, chance of showers and storms for today with a partly sunny sky on the way for tomorrow. Rachel, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. The months ahead are expected to bring the release of several new phones, and Google's providing a tease for their offering. That tops our look at consumer news. Google released this brief video clip on Twitter yesterday for its upcoming Pixel 4 phone, and it demonstrates a user controlling the phone without touching it, instead using hand gestures. Face Unlock is used to open the phone, similar to Apple's Face ID, but Motion Sense allows a user to skip songs in an app by swiping in the air, a radar technology called Soli. The Pixel 4 is expected to be released sometime in October. Fans of the legendary sitcom Friends will have a chance to go all in to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the comedy's debut. Warner Brothers is setting up a pop-up entertainment experience in Manhattan's Soho district for about a month, starting September 7th. Fans will be able to explore the show through set recreations, props, and costumes. It'll cost $29.50 to visit, with advanced ticket reservations required. Taco Bell is the latest restaurant chain to say it's committing to reducing antibiotics in its meat. The chain said yesterday it plans to reduce antibiotics, specifically those important to human health, by 25% in the majority of its beef supply by 2025. The World Health Organization says overusing antibiotics in animals can lead to antibiotic-resistant bacteria that pose risks to human life. Taco Bell's promise amounts to a commitment to work with suppliers since it doesn't directly control its beef supply. The chain was able to eliminate the use of antibiotics important to human health in its chicken supply in 2017. Taco Bell is owned by Yum Brands, which also owns Pizza Hut and KFC. McDonald's announced late last year a plan to reduce the use of antibiotics in its beef. Summer fun is almost over. It's time to start looking at that back-to-school shopping list, and you might be surprised by what consumers are buying this year. Mary Maloney has more.
As kids head back to school, families are planning to spend more than ever on supplies. That's according to a survey of nearly 8,000 families by the National Retail Federation. On average, parents of K through 12 students expect to drop nearly $700 this fall. The NRF data projects American households will spend the most this year on clothing and accessories. Electronics such as computers, calculators, and phones came in second on the list.
It seems that more and more schools are requiring you to have these things, so no surprise there.
And then there's back to college. Electronics are big with this crowd too, and that's where shoppers will put most of their money. They expect to spend almost $1,000 on all of their supplies before even starting classes. Some of that will go towards showing their school spirit and furnishing their new pads.
They're shopping in their university stores, and they're buying a lot of stuff for the dorm rooms.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
KPVI wants to make August your most epic month of summer with our Rockin' 3 concert giveaway. The winner this morning gets 2 tickets each to 3 awesome concerts. That's a total of 6 tickets. Those concerts are Lee Brice on August 8th, the Steve Miller Band on August 16th, and the Piano Guys on August 17th. That is a $400 value. To win, be the 6th caller to 208-235-3156. That number again is 208-235-3156. Winners must pick up the tickets here at KPVI by August 7th at 5 p.m. Our address is 902 East Sherman Street in Pocatello. Call now, and if you don't win, tune in all week for another chance. And coming up next on KPVI News Today, we take a look at your KPVI News Today headlines.
KPVI News Today. News that works for you.
It is 6:54 and 57 degrees, and before we head out, let's take a look at your KPVI News Today headlines. A pileup in Ashton last night, Idaho State Police say. At around 8 p.m. at the intersection of US 20 and State Highway 47, 43-year-old Darren Jordan ran a stop sign, hitting a boat pulled by 46-year-old Lane Pilatus, causing the boat to dislodge and land on the car of 58-year-old Jack Hendren. 5 kids were taken to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center. Pilatus was also taken to Ermac, and Jordan was taken to Madison Memorial. Idaho Falls police say 55-year-old John Wallen was arrested and taken to Bonneville County Jail Saturday after he allegedly attacked someone with a lighter torch. Whalen of Idaho Falls is charged with aggravated battery and burglary. The victim says Whalen attacked him in his home as he slept at 2200 North Yellowstone Highway. Thursday, the Pocatello community is invited to review plans for a new roundabout at the intersection of Pocatello Avenue and State Highway 39. This is an ITD video that shows a roundabout in Nampa that is similar to the planned Pocatello project. The open house will be from 4 to 7 p.m. at the American Falls District Library. Now let's turn it over to meteorologist Michael Ottavino to give us one last look at today's forecast. Michael.
Thanks, Rachel. For today, across the Snake River Plain will be a hot one out there. Look at that. Many locations reaching those 90s, and we will see plenty of sunshine in the sky. It'll be 94 today across Pocatello, 93 in American Falls, 91 in Idaho Falls. It will be 90 degrees today in Rexburg. Across the Central Mountains, very isolated showers and storms possible. I think the greatest chances that your area could see these will be across Salmon, also across Ledore for today. And notice those temperatures on the warm side for your area as well, mainly in the 80s. It'll be 89 today for Chalice, 88 across Salmon, 83 in Mackay, 86 today in Arco. Across the Highlands and western Wyoming, also expect plenty of sunshine in the sky with temperatures for the most part in the 80s. Notice no threats for any showers and storms. If any pop up, maybe one of them could clip across Island Park or Yellowstone, but for the most part expect a relatively dry and sunny day. It'll be 87 today across Soda Springs, 84 for Driggs, 85 in Afton, 73 degrees today in Yellowstone. Your Southeast Idaho Chevy dealer 7-day forecast leaves us sunny for today, but notice for tomorrow we'll have some clouds building in, temperatures still continuing to be hot, but the threat for some showers and storms returns on Thursday and Friday, temperatures in the upper 80s. As of now, the weekend's looking pretty nice with temperatures in those 90s.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. And KPVI News doesn't stop here. For the latest news, weather, and local updates, download the KPVI News app for your phone or tablet at kpvi.com. And that's it for us. Join us again at 5 and 10. Have a great Tuesday.